Kilo Bravo Zero, Zulu, Lima, November.
And what's the name there?
That's Ron.
I'm sorry, try your name again.
Ron, Romeo Oscar, November.
Roger, Ron, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
State of Missouri.
Ron, try it again.
Yeah, I'm in the state of Missouri. In St. Louis. Oh.
Roger, Ron, and what radio are you running?
I'm running the Yaesu FTDX-1200.
Roger, Ron. So I'll tell you what, why don't you give me about 15 seconds or so. Tell me what you like about your radio best, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Okay. Well, phone this. Okay. Well, usually 1200 for about, let's see, 4 years, and I find it to be a very, very fine radio. I purchased a 7300, and it's nice too, but I really like the Qso FTDX-1200 much better there. Over.
Roger, Ron. Well, gosh, let's check. Do you know about your frequency total bandwidth, your TBW transmit bandwidth, Roger? Is it? We're looking for 100 to 2900 on the transmit bandwidth, Roger. For 100 to 2900 on the transmit bandwidth, Roger.
Well, I got this one at 100 to 3 kilohertz. 100 hertz to 3 kilohertz. Over.
Roger, Ron. Well, what we normally do is suggest 2900 because that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. They come looking for you with pitchforks. So ideally, 100 to 2900 is the preferred setup. Roger. The preferred setup. Roger.
Yeah, either way, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. But I like the audio the way it is, and yeah, I could drop it down to with a problem very quickly. Drop it down to 29. I had a lot of compliments about this audio, and I actually to test it out, see if it was the way I liked it. I put it in my dummy load and put out a couple watts in the dummy load and listened to it on a receiver I got, and had a friend of mine that's got an extremely good radio voice talk into it, and he sounded just like himself. So that's where I left it at. I knew I achieved what I wanted to do with the TX-1200. RODLN.
Roger. Just switched over from the Kentucky SDR to my local antenna. Gosh, now why don't you give me a little bit about your antenna system? Let me just listen to you on my 7300, Roger.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, my antenna system is they're all a multi-band parallel dipole up about 30 feet. I got 2 of them. And got a third one, and these are for receiving right now. But yeah, that's the deal here. And yeah, I've had pretty good luck with them. Over.
Yes, sir, Ron. Well, gosh, I'm thinking that maybe your EQ, could stand a little more top end. And the reason I say that is that you have a nice bottom end, but and you want a top end that complements the bottom end. That's called balance. And maybe it sounds good in a refined, confined area, But in real life, there are a lot of adversity that you're going to have, as you know, face. A lot of QRM and other stuff. So you want that articulation aspect to be as good as possible, and that's why I would suggest maybe 3 clicks hotter treble EQ than where you stand at the moment, just to give yourself a little more cut in the real world versus where you're just listening to it in a confined area. Roger?
Where you're just listening to it in a confined area. Roger?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll tell you, I do DXN and a lot of rag chewing, and I'm not into contesting at all. So I don't know. I've had a lot of people really like the audio on the way I've got it set, and I've got my mic gain at 70%, and I'm using the MD100 microphone. So I'm very hesitant to 3,000, and I've got it set up the same way, and I always get good reports. And I always get good reports on the audio, and I cut to the QRM too. So right now I'm running about 800 watts, and to a Meritron, out of a Meritron AL-1500. So it's just it. So I don't know. I kind of like it the way it's set right now. Back to you there, Jim. KC9VKV, KB0ZLN.
Roger, Roger. Well, I've got a recording of you, sir, and I've got you on the 7300, and I've got you on a couple of SDR receivers across the country. So, and we've got recordings of it, so you can take a listen and be able to appraise that. If you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I talked to you, let's see, on the 19th. Yeah, that's when I was working with the 7300. So, yeah. Is that recording still on there? Because I got busy. I didn't get to listen to it, Jim. Over.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Probably do your call letter search on YouTube. Would probably bring that up. Just go to YouTube and call letter search yourself, and that should come up, and the date should tell you when it was. Roger.
Yeah, I got the date and the time right in my log here. So yeah, it was April 19th. It's around 3:30. So that's KC9VKV. .com, you say?
Go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. Roger?
Okay, logbook. I didn't have that down. All right. We will look at that. Listen to it. So, glad you enjoy doing what you're doing. You're helping a lot of guys out, that's for sure. These things could be kind of intimidating. These things could be kind of intimidating at first. I learned how to use the FTDX-1200 before I actually got it, because they had the entire manual on there, so I pretty well figured out what I wanted to do before I got it there, Jim. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, basically all radios, all transmitters are the same. They call things differently, but, they are pretty much all the same. We do have a certain generic setup procedure that, yeah, I consider it proprietary. And you know, some things don't make any sense. I've seen some of the books and some of the setups are just so ridiculous. You know, like I don't know, compression setups and stuff like that. I think you can arbitrarily say a 3. I don't think that's rocket science. You can set it on a 3 because that's a third of the capability of the processor, and then you can adjust the ALC after that. That's not a major thing. So it doesn't seem like to me you should do rocket science to try to set up a radio. You know.
We should do rocket science to try to set up a radio. You know.
Right. Yeah. I will say this. Yaesu's got a lot better manual than ICOM. I don't think they even want to give you the whole manual. So I just got the part, and I don't know, it's about 50 pages, something like that. But I'd like to have the whole thing, but fortunately it's still on the website that I bought the thing from, so I guess I might have to copy it with my printer. Over.
Yeah, just remember though that usually printer prints on one side of one paper, so if that's a 100 or 200 page pamphlet, you're going to be 400 pages printing it yourself. So sometimes it's just cheaper to spring for the bucks, or however much it was. I did copy the service manual for the 7300, and gosh, that thing is almost 2 inches thick on my printer. I think I used a ream of paper and 2 ribbons to print it, Roger.
Ribbons to print it, Roger.
Yeah, it's a lot of paper. I've had to do that one time before in something else. And ended up with about inch and a half manual. But yeah, the one I got is the basic manual, and I wanted the whole one. And I don't know what the big deal is. I'd pay for it and everything, for them to ship it to me, but there ain't no way to get one there, Jim. Over.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see how to put this. There's nothing new under the sun for a Google search. Google has about everything in the world, and somebody's been there before you, and you can find probably just about whatever you want under Google search, but it's going to cost you to print it, and also, it could be a fake website, and you could pick up a bug if you're not careful, Roger.
You could pick up a bug if you're not careful, Roger.
Oh, yeah, I got you there. Yeah, and also the information might be wrong, too. Screw up your equipment. So, yeah, I'll do one. Since I got the basic manual, I probably noticed anything that's that. Yeah, any idea how long they've been making the 7300? I guess I started hearing about her a year or 2 years ago. Over.
Oh, 7300, gosh, I don't know. 8 years ago, would you think?
Okay. Are they going to still keep making it?
I don't know. This radio, the 7300, was the equalizer. The microphone section was designed by Bob Heil. The ICOM has always had a problem with their front ends as far as input gain control, not enough gain to work with a lot of mics, and so Bob Heil did the front end work on that 7300. And one of the most unusual things, and I think just a brilliant idea, is comes their EQ on the 7300, and they said, basically an equalizer establishes a balance between the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. And if that is the case, then why even have an adjustable mid-range? Let's fix the adjustable mids, and we just have a top boost and our cut and a bottom booster cut, and strike balances to the mid-range that way. Because you know, if you know yourself, if you start to boost the mid-range, then it's so much harder for the top and the bottom to catch up for balance. So they have 7300, 7610 are only 2-band EQs, but boy, they just are so easy to work with. Roger?
Oh yeah, it's a much better way to do it. And then the 7300, it replaced my ICOM IC728, and had there about 27 years. And believe it or not, it's about the same size. It's just got a lot different technology on it. It's a good radio. I'm using an electret microphone, and boy, I tell you, gonna miss old Bob Hiles. I hope somebody's gonna keep that company going. I talked on him on the air years ago when I was operating AM, and well, I operate side-band too, but you know, and man knew a lot, and he put together some damn good guitar amp and sound system, you know, for concerts. So he will be missed. You know if anybody's going to keep that, try to keep it going? Over.
Negative. I have no idea. But you know, Bob was just an amazing person as far as being at the right place at the right time, taking advantage of the situation. I mean, as far as you know, in business in those early days, he was the one that was there and helped those bands out tremendously. Nobody else really had anything to set up for a PA system for, you know, to get the decibels that they needed and as clean as they needed it. And he was the one that did that. And like I say, he's for many years the only mics he made were dynamic mics, and his whole career had been dynamic mics until fairly recently. And like I say, with that ICOM 7300, 7610, he did go start into the electrets microphones, and just in my, you know, I come along later, and I really have enjoyed electret microphones, preferred them all my life, because I know, you know, just the difference of the technical top end of an electret mic even versus a dynamic mic. And I always like the complete articulation aspects of a electret mic versus a dynamic mic. You get where you're going with an electret microphone without equalization, pretty much, Roger.
Yeah, well, that's makes it a pretty doggone good microphone. Equalization. I'm an audiophile too, and equalization is not something you want to be using in stereophonic mode. That's for sure, and does cause phase distortion. So I definitely believe in running stuff flat if at all possible. That DHM, KC9VKV, KB0ZLN.
Roger. Well, you know, there's a time and place for everything, and you know, ham radio is not the most ideal medium to try to use audio, you know, just straight ahead flat, because of all of the adversity that you're having to run across as you transmit, you know, and so that's why we do recommend, instead of a 10 dB normal range, which is, if say you were on a PA system and I put a VU meter on your PA system and I looked at it and it's bouncing, as you're talking, it's bouncing around, and I say, hey, that's a 10 dB dynamic range. You know, unprocessed audio is 10 dB dynamic range, which is nice, but when it comes to transmitting, you want a fatter signal so you can get ahead of the noise. So if I start putting a little compression equalization on that and a little limiting on that. And I bring that up to, instead of a 10 dB dynamic range, I bring that to a 3 dB dynamic range, which is, a much fatter signal, not with distortion, but just fatter, and it sounds like twice the volume, and then you got something there because you're ahead of the noise. And then equalization-wise, you want something that's going to articulate your audio signal, so your words cut through a little bit better than the white noise that they may be fighting, or like that. So we usually suggest a little push on the top end. And then I'm saying that this is for HF radio because of the limitations of the adversity in the transmit situation on HF frequencies. Roger?
Oh yeah, mostly, definitely. And it's one guy on the net I was on said, well, interested in listen to high fidelity right now. I'd go upstairs and turn the sound system on, and I totally agree. I've seen some people get really crazy about this stuff, and I just wanted some reasonably decent audio, and I think I'm out there very close. So over.
Yes, sir. I think you sound pretty good. I think you'll enjoy your recording. Like I say, if you go to YouTube, do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That'll take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000. So let me say 73 to you, sir. You're sounding really good, and I'll catch you later. Hopefully you can drop by next Friday. We'd love to have you.
Okay, Jim. Thanks for coming back to me, and it's been a real pleasure talking with you. And I might do that here and there. Enjoy talking with you. And you have very good audio too, sir. Very, very good. This is the kind of stuff I like to listen to. Armchair listening. So I'll let you go. There's probably some other people want to talk to you. So 73 to you, Jim, and till we talk again. This is KC9VKV clear.
Yeah, Ron, come back very slowly with your call sign phonetically.
Yeah. Kilo, Bravo, Zero, Zulu, Lima, November.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.